In the meantime, in other news, the Khampepe Commission looking into alleged interference and delays in the prosecution of apartheid-era crimes will hear oral arguments in a bid for the recusal of Chief Evidence Leader Advocate Ishmael Semenya. The Justice Department and the NPA believe Semenya was involved in the formulation of the NPA policy, which is at the centre of the Commission's hearings. Let's get some clarity on this issue with Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela, who is tracking the story for us from the Bono Discovery Centre that's in Johannesburg. Mweli, let's begin exactly there, this application for the recusal of the Chief Evidence Leader. What's brought us to this point?
Yes, Michelle. So the application comes from the National Prosecuting Authority as well as the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. Basically, they are saying that Advocate Semenya is not the right person to lead evidence here in this inquiry, mainly because he was part of those people or advocates who advised the National Prosecuting Authority on that policy, which some believe that, of course, it has contributed in terms of trying to prevent or stop the prosecution of the TRC cases. But of course, Advocate Semenya is also expected to put some arguments forward. In fact, in terms of an affidavit that we have seen, he's arguing that this is something that happened about 17 years ago, and those arguments that are brought by the Minister of Justice, Mamloko Kupai, as well as Newzroom are actually not detailing as to what role did he play in as far as the formulation of that policy is concerned. So we're expecting those oral arguments to get underway at this particular venue. But of course, the spokesperson for the TRC cases inquiry here, Lionel Adendorf, thank you very much for talking to us. This is very key that this particular issue gets out of the way, because the real work of the Commission hasn't started yet. It was supposed to be wrapping up, in fact, by the end of this month. What can we expect today?
Today we hope that today will bring an end to all these months and months of delay, and that once our commissioners rule on the matter at some point during the next few weeks or days, that the commission can finally start hearing evidence on why and who and when were TRC, the cases that the TRC recommended to the police for investigation and the NPA for prosecution, so that we can get to the bottom of that. And that is why it is always a good start for us to get all of these disruptions and delays and everything out of the way, so that we can finally start with the work.
And then, of course, there are people who are concerned about what is happening at the present moment. They are calling for justice, the families of those who died or disappeared during apartheid. What's their feeling on the ground in as far as this matter is concerned?
I think the TRC cases inquiry and all its commissioners are equally concerned, and we really want to get down to the work. And that is why our commissioners believe that for too long, people and families and victims were denied this justice and did not know why their cases were never investigated or prosecuted. And that is why we were established. And our commissioners hope that we can get to the work so that we can come up with a report and make recommendations and findings on what really happened. And that is essentially what we are excited about, not these delays and all these disruptions that we've experienced up to now.
And of course, now you'll have to seek for extension considering the huge delays.
Indeed. Unfortunately, Justice Khampepe, our chairperson, is known for finalizing her reports within time and within budget. And unfortunately, this is the first time that she had to ask for an extension on her term of office. And this is part of it. But we hope that the President will heed our calls and would allow us to complete the work. Because as you have said, and as the public has know, that there has been too many disruptions, too many delays, and that stopped us basically from doing our work, but we want to get down to it.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us. Michelle, that's the spokesperson of the inquiry here, actually saying that indeed they are hoping that President Cyril Ramaphosa will allow for an extension, as there's been huge delays. And on the other side, there are those families who are calling for justice. They've been waiting. So hopefully, once this issue of this application is dealt with, then the Commission will be able to get down and do the real work.
Well, certainly, Mweli, and it sounds like there might be no other choice but to grant that extension given how this commission is unfolding. Mweli Masilela in Johannesburg for us, tracking that story.